Release the Kraken!
Welcome back, fellow game designers. We are continuing on with our Luigi, and in this particular part, we're going to go ahead and model the next section. So it's always good to do these in stages or in iterations. So the first one we saved as Luigi01. This is just the references. I'm going to go up to File. Let's go ahead and do a Save As. And we're going to go ahead and do Luigi02. Okay. This one we're going to make the torso. Go ahead and save that. Let's jump into our front view. And let's go ahead and start modeling. I'm going to grab a polygon object here. Let's go ahead and make, let's see, what's going to be the simplest way. I think if we just add in a cube, it'll be very, very quick. So let's go ahead and drop in a cube. And then I'll move this up. Go to my polycube settings over to the right here. And then for the width, I'm going to select the word width, and then middle mouse click on the canvas, and then drag to the right. Very good. And then for the height, I'll do the same thing. I'll drag to the right to make that higher. Let's go into our side view, and I'm going to grab the depth, and I will drag for the depth. Good enough. So now we have a cube, and I'm going to go to my front view. And one of the first things I want to do is remove anything that's in the middle, because we're going to do a box model. And the way box modeling works is we model on one side only, and then we mirror to see the result. So let's go ahead and remove half of this. I'll grab my multi-cut tool. I'm going to hold down the control key. I'm going to hover my mouse in the middle, and then if you hold shift, it'll snap. So control and shift, I'm going to snap, and then click that in the middle there. Perfect. Go ahead and hit Q to turn off our tool. And then right click, go to face selection. I'm going to select the left half of my model and then press delete. That's going to cut this directly in half. And you can see if I go to my perspective view, I have just a little cube here, and then the other half is empty. Okay? As we work, it's very important that we keep these edges on the open end perfectly aligned to our center axis. Okay? So now I'm going to go ahead and go into object mode. Let's go over to our attributes. I'm going to bring the transparency up just so I can see through the model a little bit. Very good. Let's start modifying this shape. Right off the bat, I'll go to vertex. I'm going to grab these in the front. Move tool. Let's move those down. I'm going to get these vertices down right at the base of the crotch here. Now be careful not to move this left or right, because this has to stay center. Okay. This one on the corner, bring that in like so. And what we're making is the shape of the bikini line. That's going to make it a lot easier for when Mario starts walking. Okay. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to grab these 2 points. Bring those down to about the neck area. Now remember that this point on the inside left, this cannot move left or right. It has to stay directly in the middle. On this point, I'm going to bring this to where Luigi's shoulder starts. So if I move this out of the way, you can see right here is where the shoulder starts. So I'm going to start it right about there. Awesome. And then whenever we make a change in the front, we need to make a change on the side. So let's go into our side view. And here we are. So from our side view, I'll start at the top. I'm going to bring in these front corner pieces to the neck. So I'll bring these over. Looks good. I'll bring these ones in the back this way. Don't worry about the angle. We're going to add points in just a minute. Let's go down to the bottom here. I'm going to bring this corner to about where the crotch would be, and this one where the back of the butt's going to be. Now we might have to narrow these as we go, but we're going to start here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just move these in just a little bit more, like that. Okay. Now you might be thinking, well, we're just shaping a cube. That's true. But now we're going to add on the next layer. So go into our front view, and we're going to cut in some extra points so we can start making the belly area. So go over to your multi-cut tool, hold down the control key, and then line this up to about where the hip is, which is about there. Go ahead and cut. Press Q to get rid of your tool, And then I'm going to grab this corner, get our move tool, and move that out. And you can see now we have the bikini line. Okay? And that also fills out part of the belly. Now whenever you make a change on the front, you should make the change on the side. So let's go into our side view. And now we can start expanding to make the butt and the front of the belly. So I'll grab this back corner. This is going to become the butt. This is going to become the belly. You see our model taking shape. Looks really good. Okay. Now we don't have enough material to make this part of the butt or that part of the belly. And we don't have enough material to make this part of the chest or this part of the back. So we need to add an extra cut. We'll get our multi-cut tool. I'm going to start down here. I'm going to put a cut in, holding the control key, and then cut about there. I'm going to press Q, grab this point, move it back, grab this point in front, move it forward. Okay. Whenever we make a change on the side, we should make a change on the front. So I'll go to the front here, and you can see we need to fill this out just a little bit. So I'll grab this point, and I'll just move it like so. That'll work. We need to do the same thing for the chest area. So I'll go to my side view. And you might notice that these are starting to get off axis. That's not a big deal because Luigi is a 3D model and it has depth to him. So what we're looking at are these points here on this part overlapping with the points on this part. The front of the belly is going to be wider than the side. So we're going to see some changes as we go. Jump back into our side view, grab our multi-cut tool, and let's add a cut right about here in the middle. Looks good. Hit Q to turn our tool off. We'll grab the front vertex, move that to the chest, back vertex. That's good. And I'm going to go ahead and just add in an extra cut on here as well. So right about there, just so I can fill out some of the extra stuff. Now it's important you don't get too cut happy, because if you add too much too quickly, it can get out of hand. So when you make some changes on one side, you should make those changes on the other. So now on my front view, I'm going to line this up so that this point here is tucked under where the underarm is. So just go ahead and move it. That looks good. And then this one here, this should be right where the shoulder begins. So right there looks pretty good. And I can move this up a little bit here. I'll move this one up just a little bit. Okay. It's important to maintain good edge flow, so I'm going to go ahead and just lower this. Remember, I can't move this left or right because it'll break, but I'm going to go ahead and lower it using the arrow key. I'll do the same thing here. Good, good. Okay, so now if we come into our perspective view, you can see we have the shape taking place. Now this is a bit too wide over here, so what I need to do is narrow this. The easiest way to do that is to keep my 4-view open, so I'll go ahead and split the 4-view. And I'm going to use this view so I can see the points in my perspective view, so I know which ones to move in my side view. Okay, so I'm going to grab this first point here. You can see that is there. I'll get my move tool and just move that point back, starting on the shoulder. I'm going to go down the list here, and this is why I don't want to go too quick with a bunch of cuts, because you have a lot of things to move. You can move these all at once, but I find it's a lot nicer if you pay attention to where things are going to line up. So this point on the shoulder, I'm going to line it up on this round part of the body here, because this is where the arm is going to go. Next point down, just move that back some. Next point down, I'll move that back as well. Adjust, I'll get the next point, move that back. Get underneath, Move that. Let's get the back points here. This one's going to come in the shoulder. This back one on this angle. Oops. And that's going to come forward. This one's going to come forward a little bit more. Next one down around the butt. Bring that forward some. The exact amount is up to you. You're the artist, but you need to go with what you think looks good for your eye. I'll move this forward as well. Okay, go into our view. And you can see this is now shaping up to be Luigi's body. It's not quite done yet. There's definitely more we can do. For example, we can round off this area. It's kind of angular. So I'll go into my multi-cut tool. I'm going to hold down the control key, and I'm going to cut right here along the midline. So that's kind of going this way. So if I go from the front view, you can see that here, like that. I'll go ahead and cut. And then in my perspective view, I can use my eyes to help round out this shape. So I'm just going to pull these forward a little bit to make this more round. And I can start moving these ones back a little bit just to shape the body and make it a little bit more round over here. Now the more you do this, the more practice you're going to get, the better you're going to get at it, and the faster you will be. You might think I'm moving a little bit too quick, but really the position doesn't matter. It's all about technique. So that looks pretty good there. Still a little boxy on this end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple cuts here so that I can round out that side. So I'm going to grab my multi-cut tool. And then on this middle section here from the side view, I'm going to add in a single cut right about there. And that's going to give me enough definition to pull these points inward. So I'm going to grab this one. See how it's real pointy? I'm going to move that in, kind of round it off. And I'm just moving the camera around to look at the points to try to find which ones need to be more round, which ones need to be adjusted. Very good. And I think that's close enough for the torso for now. What we're going to do is mirror it so you can see what the other side's going to look like. Pretty easy process. I'm going to go up and hit Object Mode. And again, it's very important that none of the vertices in the middle have moved left or right, because if they shift, it's going to break the model. I'm going to go up to Edit, come down to Duplicate Special, hit the option box. Now this is not a true mirror. What Duplicate Special does, it gives us a preview of what we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to come down, I'm going to make an instance, and we will just go ahead and do, let's go with world. And then I want to set the scale for the X value, that's our left and right. I'll do that as a -1. I'll hit apply. And look, this will give us a preview of what the body's going to look like. Not too bad. Let's go into attributes, and we will bring the transparency down. Look, we have the beginning of Luigi's body. Very nice, very nice. I'm going to go ahead and remove my copy. We don't need that anymore. Let's go ahead and save this here. And the next video, we'll go ahead and start creating Luigi's leg. Stay tuned, and I shall see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for checking out my channel. Misty and I both thank you. If you enjoyed the video you just watched, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Also, we are at 1,500 subscribers. Woo! That is awesome possum. Rocket Flip is out if you have not taken a look at my latest devlog. It is in open beta testing, so if you want to grab a copy and test it out, see how it plays, leave some feedback, it really helps me out. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I shall see you next time.